I am opening Audacity.
Ooh.
Very audacious of you.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's a weird feedback that I'm hearing.
Yeah, some tip, 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 tip.
It sounds like a really small helicopter.
Yep.
Anyone? Mightn't be someone?
Who has a very small helicopter in their house? Just quick round.
We can take turns muting to figure out who it is.
I don't hear it right now.
I never heard it, so I
Hear it
Oh,
now.
I hear now.
I think it's Tim.
I think it's Tim. Let's blame Tim.
Tim, in your tiny helicopters.
Not sure what it might be. A loose connection or something?
How about now?
Not hearing it.
So far, so good.
Unplug everything and plug it back in.
Plot contrivance.
Yes, the technological
they
trick.
connected the robot's learning circuit
Yep.
to the sensor that they're using to zero in on you.
Okay.
So the more you teach the robot, the stronger that signal.
You seem tired.
Food poisoning, which is good news.
Oh.
Yep.
He's very responsive.
Who's
That's
tired?
how tired he is.
You.
I am a little tired. I stayed up late to watch hockey last night. And luckily my team won, which is very exciting for me as a person.
Did you have to clarify that?
Well, I was going to say as a Canadian,
robot.
but, then I remembered it's only Jake who's not Canadian, so everybody else
And
just
I don't
understands.
matter, apparently.
Nope, you really don't.
That's kind of what I'm trying to get at.
I take back you sound tired to you sound douchey today.
I wish I could watch hockey games.
So how was everyone's day today?
It was
Very
better than
nice.
yesterday.
Normal. We had snow today.
We had that yesterday.
It was over 30 degrees here today.
Shut up.
I resent you.
This is not something I'm happy about. You misunderstand.
I still don't like you.
That's fair. This is not seems common in this group, actually. You misunderstand.
I like you, Jake.
Thank you, Vanessa. Like you too.
Well, welcome everybody to High Level Games presents Star Trek Adventures, where the crew of the USS Bonaventure is embroiled in pitched ship-to-ship combat, and through some very exciting and very savvy uses of power drain, was able to get some advantages on the bin tech right now. So, yeah, very exciting. So when we last left our intrepid heroes, you were at 5 momentum and I was out of threat. I am about to award myself 4 more threat.
I believe you get 2 at the start of every session, but I appreciate the excess.
Yeah, well, I get a couple at the beginning of every session, but I also am going to add an additional threat for the situation that you're currently embroiled in. Now,
In other words, because you want to.
Yep.
well, I am the game master. I can kind of just
You
do
can
that.
do that. Yeah.
But I did
It
put
should-
some thought into it.
It should be noted that we tried our darndest to not be embroiled in this.
By lying.
By
Well, you know.
lying like a rug.
You certainly tried. Let the record show that combat was precipitated because of the deception of the Federation.
But we didn't shoot first. We have that.
You do have that. So, I mean, whoever's idea it was to lie, and I'm not saying any names, like, all the deaths that happen, the blood is on that person's hands. That's all I say.
All I'm saying is no one's died yet, so
On your
That
ship.
you know of.
On
Well-
your ship.
we're not responsible for them. They are unlawful combatants.
Captain Supportive is getting cold during this combat.
Wow.
We didn't know that as soon as combat turns, he just like gets
Just-
a whole new
When he said
personality.
game on,
He goes-
everything
From
changed.
Yeah.
social worker to psychopath.
It goes insane.
That's I like it. I actually really appreciate that. I like the idea that part of Captain Salazar Gel's character is that he's super reasonable and super supportive, and he tries really hard to help his crew, but there's some switch in him that gets flipped, and he gets super friggin' Bajoran when combat starts. I think that's actually... So those are the fun, organic things that happen in role-playing games where you have that creative, collaborative storytelling component where just personality components rise to the surface that nobody predicted.
Yeah, I couldn't have predicted he would have been a homicidal maniac, but
Nope.
I wouldn't go so far as to say he's a homicidal maniac. I would say he's colder than he's been to this point.
I feel like, if we were fighting like Klingons or something, they would be covered under the Space Geneva Convention, but these are unlawful combatants and criminals, and we're not responsible for the outcomes of what exactly happens to them.
The Orions,
So I hope they
yeah.
go to jail.
What about the
they're-
Tyranidae?
Well, I hope we don't have to hurt any of them. Maybe we can come to some accord after they get tired of,
We haven't shot at them.
We haven't.
Right.
True.
We purposely did not shoot at them, even
But-
though we got shot by them.
according to the statutes of combat that we've been obeying thus far, they've shot at us, thus we can shoot at them and still fall under that realm of protection.
I feel like when this fracas kind of settles down, we could revisit talking to them. Maybe it was heat of the moment. Felt like he had an opportunity, but, no harm, no foul.
Sometimes you can see that old captain come back out when he says words like fracas.
Fracas. Plus, let's be real, we totally outclass the remaining bird of prey. Like,
Fathomless, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that has been shown is that the military strength of the Tyranidae is lacking. Because, as you remember, your military briefing, they only have 3 ships of the line. And that's the Fathomless, the Immeasurable, and the Deep. The Immeasurable's already ditched out. The Deep's elsewhere right now, and the Fathomless is left, and they're all the same class of ship, which is like... These ships were an imminent Federation threat when Kirk was Admiral.
Yet it was still one of these that destroyed the Galaxy class Enterprise. Just throw that one out there.
A Burrell-class bird of prey?
Yes, it was.
I'll have to check that.
Are you sure it
I
wasn't
believe
the
you,
Star Destroyer?
but that's interesting.
I think it was the Millennium Falcon that did that, actually.
Shut your damn mouth.
And it exceeded warp 9.9.
it should be noted that just based on the appearance in the icons, we're not looking at a Brielle bird of prey. We're looking at a D7 class battle cruiser. However,
This is true. I did mention that at the beginning. That was the wrong. It was the wrong icon, but it was the one that I found. All right.
Let's keep piling on Quinn. Let's see how much threat we can get him to generate.
Yeah, I'm thinking of adding another 6.
Not generate, award himself. It is a gift.
Yes.
Let's get started. All right. First up, we're up at the top of a new round, and so I need you guys to choose 5 people who are going to go. There's 4 threat and 5 momentum at play. The Bintech, you have access to their information. Their power is at 0. They have a resistance of 3 currently, a scale of 3, and shields at 11. And that's the one you're currently heavily engaged with. The Bonaventure right now, with its scale of 5, has 12 power left and 13 shields. Both the Bintech and the Bonaventure have taken a single breach. Your breach was to the weapons systems. Yeah. All right.
If Rossi needs to be on there,
I think we should just do the same 5 we've been
Same 5?
doing. It seems.
Yeah.
Throssi, Captain, Kieran, Marcus, and David.
I mean, unless there's one of the other stations that you think should go, but
I think not this round, but next round we should swap out maybe internal systems for communications.
I am going, and I cover both sensor and communications.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep. So I can do either.
So he can communicate.
I can
Lovely.
communicate.
Alrighty then. So let's get started. Who's up first for the Bonaventure?
Are our shields modulated still?
Shields are not modulated.
Maybe do that. I don't know if we want to shoot because remember we just took all their power.
I don't think we need to modulate shields at the moment. Our shields are still very high. They do have some, their weapons are at 3, but their power's at 0. So their
down to
offensive
photon
capacity is quite limited, and it costs us 1 power.
Do you want to attempt to open communications in order to try and negotiate the cessation of hostilities?
I feel like their ship is not quite disabled enough. I think after the next round, I'd like to take the next round to disable those weapons.
Okay.
And then next
do you want to start
round
with Rossi then?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rossi is going to
Take a
target the
shot at
weapons.
the weapons.
Okay.
So how do I target the weapons?
You just add 1 to the difficulty.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
do we want to scan for weaknesses first to make sure that this?
That's only to add piercing. Their resistance is only a 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a concern. And also, we don't want to destroy them. We're not
Yes.
looking to murder them.
Yeah.
Remember, psychopath.
Would you like maybe an attack pattern to make the attack easier on our next turn?
Honestly, I would say attack now. Who knows what they're going to do on their turn? They
Yeah.
could try and restore shields. No, they can't. They don't have power. But they
There's
could,
something
yeah.
they could do, right? Yeah.
At
All
this
right.
point, I think it seems like they're pretty well down to, in terms of immediate actions, maneuvering or firing their weapons.
Mm-hmm. So
Oh,
yeah,
Restore
target
their plus.
weapons.
I would target their weapons right now. Let's take the
Yeah.
opportunity to do so.
Okay.
All right, Athrasi.
All right.
You want to
Rolling.
spend a point of momentum?
Too late.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 2 successes. Are you firing a phaser? Or what
Yeah.
are you're firing
We're
a
targeting the
fire phaser?
weapons.
Okay, so
yeah.
then I'm just going to remove 1
Power.
power. But you have 2 successes. You're going to need a 3rd success, so somebody needs to roll for the Bonaventure.
Is it possible to add momentum to the Bonaventure's roll?
No,
'Cause
the roll has already begun.
All right.
Sorry.
No worries. I'll roll for the Bonaventure.
Oh.
Okay. You're good.
There's a
Okay.
3rd success and a complication.
Yay, but we can wipe out the complication. Let's do that.
Let's do
Let's
that.
do that.
Yeah, let's use
Okay.
the momentum to wipe out.
Momentum used brings your momentum down to 4, and your complication is gone. You have 3 successes, so you do hit. Now it is a matter of rolling damage.
7d6.
7d6.
Does damage work any differently targeting a system like this, or is this just if we cause a breach, it's a breach there?
Yeah, that's right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with an effect. We don't have any effects, but we have
Done the
2
user,
momentum.
right?
We earn 2 momentum from hitting with the phaser, so we have a total of 6 momentum. We right now are dealing 3 damage. If we add 2 damage to that, that's enough to cause a breach.
Given that we're maxed out on momentum, I feel that it's appropriate to use that too.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Sure.
Sounds great.
Because if what we're doing is trying to cause a breach in their
Right.
weapon system, we need to deal 5 damage.
Yes, exactly.
That will bring momentum down to
4.
4, and it will cause a total of 5 damage to their shields, which does indeed cause a breach.
That was one heck of a shot.
That
Yeah.
was one heck of a shot.
We're looking like we're pretty good in battle compared to when we were like pissing around on the freaking
And
holodeck.
you were targeting weapons, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we were.
Okay. Yeah. So you definitely see some explosions up around where the disruptors were and where the photon torpedo launchers are, the front photon torpedo launcher, and they are definitely concerned.
They're in a bad spot.
They are in a bad spot.
It's
So,
Rossi says, Captain, that was a solid hit to their weapon system. Looks like they have a breach.
Thank you, Ithrosi.
okay,
Great
so
shot.
they are going to maneuver. Oh, they did maneuver. Lovely. Okay. I was like,
They're like,
wait a minute.
do we really want to
So
move?
you see them firing their thrusters, and they turn and move away from you towards Riniday. That's this planet right here.
We're that close to Tyranidae?
Oh, outside the system.
Oh.
So they move closer to Tyranidae. At this point, the Bizrak is also going to go. The Bizrak is jumps immediately to a short burst of warp and puts themselves right there.
Cool. They just drained 2 points of power. Let's see what we can do to help them drain the rest.
Mm-hmm.
We're very good at helping to drain power.
Yes.
And with this in mind, the Fathomless are kind of surprised at what's going on. And they, let's see.
No one wants to play with me.
He just must think he's just totally badass. Like,
I think he's going to shoot a photon torpedo at you.
That's sad.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate.
one of our possible momentum spent. Okay.
That will hit. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage.
Okay, so the photon torpedo does come up and it impacts your shield. I mean, some of the power does get through the shielding and impacts your structure, but you're just such an enormous ship and so ruggedly designed that it causes nothing, no major damage. So you're just rocked by this photon torpedo. while that happens, and then we're back to the Bonaventure. With Throssy's already gone.
Can we?
Do you want to attempt to stop these hostilities?
I feel that we should ask them to stop once the immediate threat is over. Like we're kind of in the middle of a melee.
All right.
I think it may be worthwhile to ask the remaining Trinidad ship to cooperate or to break hostilities. But I think it's worthwhile to make the Orion surrender on our terms.
So then what do you propose our next course of action is?
Continue to engage the Orion ship, and maybe you could attempt to hail the Trinidad and ask them to,
All right, I'll do that at the end of the round, since we should do more combat-y things
okay.
now. So do you want to take an attack position? Do you want to take a evasive maneuvers? I mean, we should note where our power is. We can always regenerate more.
We can.
We can neither modulate shields nor shoot since the Throssy's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking evasive maneuver, or for next round attack pattern, maybe evasive maneuver.
Yeah, they're shooting at us.
One thing we can do with momentum is for every 2 momentum we spend, we can increase the difficulty of the task performed by an enemy during combat as an immediate spend, just as an FYI.
Okay.
So do you want to be aggressive or do you want to play it safe?
I'm going to award myself 1 threat for the time.
Let's evasive.
Yeah, let's evasive.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I would like an additional sensor sweep as well after we're done. We have information on the Bentec, but we don't have information on the other 2.
Okay. I'll do that. So, Tim, you're up.
Evasive maneuvers.
Alrighty.
Okay, evasive action. Daring plus con task with a difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's structure plus con.
I have an applicable focus, evasive action.
Ooh, you're so evasive.
Is that seriously your focus?
That's my focus, yes.
Ooh, look at
I'm
this.
not sure that applies.
There's 2 successes. The Bonaventure can assist.
Here it comes.
Ooh. Let's get rid of that.
Okay.
Agreed?
Yep.
All right, so that was a complication that you're spending your 1 momentum
Erase.
to get rid of.
Yep.
All right. Now that the Bonaventure has gone, it's up to the Bintech.
We were successful. We also gained 1 point of momentum in that task.
Yeah, and then you spent it on getting rid of a complication.
Nice. So we're still at 4?
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So, the Bintech is going to do a power management role.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm going to spend a point of threat to give them an extra dice, because they're desperate.
They want to go away.
I need you to understand that they're in really, really, really bad shape right now.
Just a little bit.
Well, we did well.
There we are. There's 2 successes so far. And a 3rd success. Lovely. Okay. So, power management had a difficulty of 2. And they are going to spend some threat to increase their power up to 2. And that's what the Bintech's going to do. The Bizrek is going to modulate their shields. They are also. I'm also going to spend a point of threat here to roll that out. Ah, it's 3 successes. And 5 successes. I'm going to give myself a point of threat for that, because that was friggin' crazy good. And I can do that. So modulating shields, they are successful with difficulty of 2. The resistance is increased by 1 plus 1 for every point of momentum spend. I'm going to spend 5 points of threat on their modulating shields, increasing their resistance. Oh, they already modulated their shields. I think I can do this. I don't think I can do that, actually. Okay. So instead of modulating their shields, what are they going?
Have they tried their
Scanning for
Irish-
weaknesses, did you say? Yes.
Irish folk dancing? I was gonna say.
I'm going to keep all those
I believe
rolls,
they're the
though.
same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep all those rolls, and it's definitely successful scan for weaknesses. So the Bizrak at this point scans you, and they're obviously getting ready to defend the Bintech. Now, the Bintech, you might recall, has Ozarzo on it, who's kind of the boss, whereas the Bizrak was his lackey ship. So they're trying to protect the boss as the boss is kind of freaking out. The Fathomless has already fired, and so is going to spend this round maneuvering. Ah, that'll do. That's a couple of successes. They are going to maneuver closer to the alien vessel. All right. Now, then it's back to the Bonaventure.
Okay. So the Orion ships are more capable. We should be concerned about them, but all they want to do is
Steal stuff.
steal stuff. And the Trinidae want to blow shit up. So it seems to me that we need to break off to
Discourage the Turnidae from destroying the ship.
yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's
We
maneuver over
Marcus is
yonder.
already gone. Marcus is already gone.
Yeah,
Oh.
Marcus.
Who do
is
we
already
have
gone.
left? Who do we have left?
So at this point, Athrasi and Marcus is gone. So you have David, Kirid, and a captain.
What do you think, Captain? Should we attempt to hail? I can attempt to hail.
It can't hurt at this point.
Yeah, might as well. Try talking.
And I'll let you do the talking, of course. But yeah. So, Quinn, I'd like to open a hail with the Turnidae ship.
Okay. Double check. I don't think that's even a roll.
I don't
it
think
is.
so either.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
it is?
Hailing frequencies open during combat. Yeah, this requires a control plus engineering task plus a communications plus engineering with a difficulty of 0. So yeah, you can certainly do that. I am going to spend 2 threat to increase the difficulty to 2, and 3 threat to increase the complication range by 3.
Okay.
So that means that 17 or above is a complication.
Okay.
Oh.
I suck at both of these things, so this is going to be really fun. Do you want to spend any momentum?
Why are you our comms officer?
I don't know.
Why are you a science officer?
I can science good. This is engineering.
Question, Quinn.
Yeah.
If Kirid is the one operating the communication system, but I'm doing the talking, does the captain still get a turn later.
Yep.
Okay. I can use rally on my turn.
So yeah, let's use momentum.
So do you want me to spend one point of momentum or 3?
Let's go 3.
Okay, rolling 40-20.
Okay.
No applicable focus.
Looks good.
Yay.
Oh, I can't actually see what you. Oh wait.
Oh, there's nothing. Yeah.
No complication.
And then 2d20 for the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. So
Yeah,
you
you did.
you actually gained 2 momentum out of that deal with no complications, and I burned all 5 of my threats.
That was awesome.
Or all.
And you wondered about my ability to work a radio.
No, you wondered about your ability to work the radio. To be absolutely
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
And
He
this is
lulled you. He was actually a shark. He's actually really good at it, and he just like faked you out. So you used all your threat.
See.
this is
Mhm.
the fathomless, correct?
Yeah, the fathomless that you are opening. So you open hailing frequencies. What message do you send?
Captain, this is you.
Attention fathomless. Your assistance is requested in disabling these Orion pirates. There's no reason for us to be engaging in combat with one another, and once the Orions are disabled, we'd be more than happy to resume peaceful negotiations about what's happening with the ship and what's the situation. And we
Maybe
don't
mention the Orions are kind of threatening Trinidad as
And-
they're like right there.
and the Orions are threatening the sovereignty of Trinidad in a very big and immediate way, and it's definitely in their interests to help us to help them.
Okay. They do not respond to your hail, but they definitely got it.
Okay, well,
Yeah, we tried.
They're just like, you're big liar pantses. We can't trust you at all.
All right.
And we
So
wanna blow
that
up this
was
big
the
thing.
Bonaventure. It's Kieran's move. Now the Bintech is this round. They have maneuvered and what have they
Power
done?
managed.
Power manage. I think not do that anymore. So they're gonna launch a probe. They're really into the science right now.
I support them.
Hmm. They're gonna take evasive action. Now
Hasn't
this
their
is
helm already gone?
oh, it has. Right. Like the helm does all the cool things.
And tactical like modulate shields and shoots. So it's like, well, you can do one or the other.
You can also have tractor beams. There's that.
Ooh.
Let's put the battlements into a tractor beam.
What?
Nothing. Never mind.
Hmm. Oof. Okay, they're gonna attempt damage control, actually.
Ooh.
But it's not going so well. So maybe their damage control teams are injured or dead, or can't get to the site where the breaches are. Things have not gone well for the Bintech.
No, they haven't.
They realize that the old Bonnie, she's not as broken down as the Trinidad had reported to them when they towed them in. kind of lured everyone into a false lowering of expectations when you had to be toured in on your maiden voyage to Castoria. So
It was planned.
they are now super surprised that you're apparently a unstoppable juggernaut of a space tank.
Lowering expectations is really what I do best.
Okay.
That in itself is tactics.
There we are. Okay, so next up after the Bintech, the Bizrak will go. Now, the Bizrak has warped into that position and has... What did they do last time? Oh, they scanned for weaknesses. That's right. They're going to fire their weapons.
It's not very nice.
They are going to fire their disruptor array at the Bonaventure. Again, they look like they've interposed themselves.
I would vote that we spend momentum
make-
raising the difficulty of this, because they've got
Yeah.
piercing 2 on this shot if they hit.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
And so if we-
how many momentum would you like to spend?
Do we have 4?
You have 2.
You have 2? Then that would be 2.
2.
Okay, so you increase the difficulty by 2, so that's a difficulty 4 for them. That's going to be
Unfortunately, it's only raising it to a difficulty of 1.
Oh.
1, not 2.
of
It's
1.
2 points of momentum
Oh, I see.
for every difficulty.
So difficulty of 3 for them.
Yes, as much as I wish.
That is 3 successes.
Whew.
So that means that they hit for 7 challenge dice worth of damage.
1, 2, 3, 4, and ignoring 2 points of resistance.
4 plus ignoring 2 points of resistance, so that's 4 damage for 3 resistance right now, meaning you take 1 point to your shield.
I was expecting that to be a lot more hurty.
It has the potential to be. With their vicious
Me too.
on
Yeah.
that, if they roll
Mm-hmm.
5s
relatively...
and 6s?
Yeah, they start hurting people real bad.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the disruptor. Like on a normal roll, it's not that much different from a phaser, but if it gets rolling, hoofda. So yeah, the Bizrak moves in between you and the Bintech, immediately sets itself to scanning you, and then starts opening up with its disruptor array on the Bonaventure. You do take a hit. Everyone, rocks back and forth.
We didn't. He did evasive maneuvers.
Ha!
Difficulty
Oh,
that was raised by an additional 1 for that.
that's right.
I'd forgotten about that.
Right. Yes. I was evasive.
You did. That's a good point. So you did not get hit, just barely. So likely what happened is some of the disruptor did catch the top of the shields, but just refracted off and did no damage.
That's cool.
Well done.
We feel very talented right now.
So yeah, as the
Yeah.
disruptor array comes, the Bonaventure dips below and jerks to the side. A ship this size should not be that nimble. But given that you have improved impulse drive, secondary reactors, and an improved warp drive, and a damn fine pilot at the con, you're making this old girl dance.
When, yeah, you hear Marcus go, "Whoa!" Just as like he notices the ship kind of angle its disruptors. Ah!
You
Yeah.
probably could have dodged him even more, but you just really wanted to cut it close to make it even that much more epic.
I will say you're probably hearing the entire, all the bulkheads and the substructure just kind of groan as the pressures are changing incredibly fast, and the shields are trying to keep up to it. And yeah, this is quite something.
It's probably pretty disconcerting to be a part of the crew of this fight, just not involved, and just hearing your ship shake and groan.
All right. Next up is the Fathomless. Fathomless is going to Fathomless going to fire their disruptors.
They've already fired this round.
Yeah, they have. They
shot at us.
shot at you.
Yeah.
So they've maneuvered and they have fired. They already have modulated shields.
They could communicate back with us. We did send them a very nice message.
See, they wouldn't want to be rude and like mute
That's
us or
right.
something.
No, they're above that.
They wouldn't just leave us hanging.
Be very without honor.
They are going to and they're going to scan for weaknesses on the Bonaventure.
Everyone wants to know our weakness.
We should really hide our weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So, yeah, that will certainly find a weakness.
Our weakness is chocolate.
And flowers. I'm a sap for flowers.
Someone needs
That
to
would be
like,
awesome, right? Like scan for weakness and then they just beam in all the things you love.
Oh, dang. Oh, I
Oh,
can't find them.
I can't fight you now.
Arg puppies for Marcus.
Yeah. Or we could just shield that dang thermal exhaust port.
Meh.
Come on, David.
It's only about 2 meters wide. How no one can target that.
That's no bigger than a womp rat.
Exactly. All right. So the Fathomless has scanned you for weaknesses, and now it's back to the Bonaventure. Now you go. You have Marcus and David to go one after another.
The captain has also yet to...
No, just Captain and David,
Oh,
not
that's
Marcus.
what I meant.
Yeah.
Captain and David's.
Oh, good. Michael gets to play twice.
Oh, good. Well, the captain's going to rally.
Woo! What words do you offer to us?
That you're all doing a really great job, and that we clearly didn't start this, but
we didn't start the fire. It was
No.
always burning.
it was just going when we got
Since
here.
Tyrannidae has been turning.
And we'll hopefully have this wrapped up soon. So that is a presence plus command with an applicable focus.
Okay,
Okay,
that's 2.
great.
So that's 2 momentum that have been generated. Okay, there's the captain, and now David.
So David is on engineering and internal systems.
That's right.
Suggestions?
Well, I mean, internal systems can't do too much right now. He could regenerate power.
Power management is something he can
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Let's do power management. So daring or control plus engineering with a difficulty of 2. Is this a daring or control task at this moment? I feel control.
I feel control.
It's a
He's
control
not under
task at
pressure.
at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Trying to free up those reserves.
it should be noted that it would be much better if it were daring, but
Well, he is.
Maybe
He is posting. He is communicating up. Like, what exactly are you doing to my ship? Why is she groaning? But
so for regenerating power, one of the focuses that he has is warp field dynamics.
mhm.
And what is power generation on a starship if not fiddling with the warp core?
It's a more rerouting power from various systems. I'm not gonna let that apply this.
I like the try though. It's worth the try.
I agree.
So is this like the arcades on the Bonaventure are being like shut down and
Our aquatics lab.
Holodeck.
I mean, you guys have a ton of power still, so it's probably not crazy. It's a difficulty of 2. You have 1 success thus far, and the Bonaventure cannot help you, so that does not work. All right, so that's that. Now, the top of the next round, who's going for the Bonaventure? Which 5?
Thinking same as before.
Same 5.
So, Captain, Marcus, Kirid, Ithrasi, and David.
Yes.
Okay, who's going first?
Captain, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to engage with
I
the
continue
Bizrak or
engage with the Bizrak.
okay? Want me to shoot them, Captain?
I want
We should probably scan for
Spirit to
weakness.
scan. Yeah, to scan for
Scan
weakness.
for weakness first. Okay. So who's the
All right.
scanner?
That would be me, unfortunately.
You are the best scanner.
Nope.
You are the best scanner ever.
Why is control so important?
Why are you on sensors?
I don't know.
I thought you were
So-
a science officer.
Do you want to spend momentum on this?
You have 2 momentum.
Do you want to spend 1?
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
All right. Applicable focus.
That's 2 successes.
And for the ship.
Wait, what are we doing right now?
Scanning for weakness.
Weaknesses.
Okay.
We want to see them.
You've scanned the hell out of those weaknesses, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Thermal exhaust
This
port.
is the ship's sensors plus security.
Mhm.
I didn't quite know what that was for the generation of.
Sensors are 10, security's 2. Those are both successes.
So that's got 4 successes with a difficulty of
2,
Of 1.
2.
1.
3 more momentum. Awesome.
Great.
I'll take it.
It's actually a difficulty of 2 because they're beyond close range. They're medium range.
Fair point.
Yep.
Okay, so you scan for weaknesses, and you do get weaknesses on the Bizrak.
What is it?
I believe that the Bizrak and the Bintak had the same maintenance crew who, again, forgot to put the plating back on those EPS conduits. And they're just lying there exposed, waiting for us to drain the power out of them.
It's because they had work to do to them later on, and so they just figured if we leave it open, then we can just get to it easier and quicker because they
And
both needed maintenance there.
And I mean, think about the workers that the Orions are getting. Like, they're probably temp, poorly paid. They're not
Yeah.
union workers.
Paid?
The quality, yeah, maybe they're not even paid. The quality of the workmanship, not high.
Given their pensions for slavery, I really doubt they're paid.
Yeah, they're probably slaves.
Depends. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Okay, so the Bonaventure has gone with Kirid going first. The Bintech is spending its turn warping out.
Ooh,
Tucks tail and runs.
bravely runaways.
Captain, you
Ran away.
muted.
How
There
many
you go.
power did they have?
1.
One.
Yeah,
So they
one.
did have enough to do that.
Just
They
enough.
generated one, so they could go.
Well, they ended up with 2 power. They used 1 for something else, and then they left 1 specifically for to
Leaving.
warp the hell away. The other one was spent trying to keep them alive until they could warp away. Because there was always
Seems
the
reasonable.
danger that you tried to shoot past the Bizrak and get them, and they probably view the world in such a way so that the Federation's just as bloodthirsty and ruthless as
Right.
they are. So they just kind of assume that that's what's going to happen.
So
Bear
to-
with this, Captain.
Now, as
Like-
far as the Bizrak, Bizrak going.
Probably run if they have any sense in their heads. They're outclassed and outgunned.
It might be true.
And also, they seem to be the scavenger type, where if they don't have dominance, they just flee and live to scavenge another day.
On the other hand,
But I'm not the GM.
I mean, it seems like they got beat up by their fight with the Fathomless and Immeasurable.
I'm not going to lie, the Fathomless and the Bizrak, their fight was really inconclusive because the first thing they both did was modulate their shields and basically couldn't hurt each other after that.
On the one hand, yes, they are scavengers. On the other, they're facing us. Yeah, we outclass them, but they're seeing the Trinity come up behind us. They might still feel like they themselves can do this.
Why
are you arguing against your own team?
They were fighting them like 10 seconds ago.
To be clear, I want to disable the ship and take the Orion officers into custody.
Yep, that's what I thought.
I don't want them.
You don't want them to get away.
No, they're going to New Zealand, whether they like it or not.
Well, they clearly don't.
They're going to the New Zealand penal colony for 6 to 8 months of remedial therapy.
And they're going to have a great time, and they're going to be glad that we made them go.
Mm-hmm. Better people for it in general.
Probably.
Go sit on New Zealand and think about what you did.
This is so difficult. So difficult.
Roll it.
So they are definitely the runny type. The question for me is, are they going to see if they can really hurt you before they run? Or are they going to just run? That's the question. Now,
we did just scan them for weaknesses.
Yeah, they know that, and they know that you drained a whole bunch of power from the fintech.
I think, Quinn, you as the GM want to hurt us.
No, I absolutely don't. I prepped this whole episode understanding that there was like between a 30 and 40% chance that there was going to be combat. But in no way did I necessarily want combat to happen, and even now, I don't really care. I'm actually really interested in how it went. It's different because I've never done ship-to-ship combat like this in this game before. So for me, watching how this is played out just strikes home just how much of a freaking tank the Bonaventure is, as well as how important scale is in combat. I didn't quite rock while I was doing and the Excelsior is just big. Right? It's a class. It's a scale of 5. Galaxy is a scale of 6. The Didyrix class warbirds from the Romulan Empire are a 7. So that suddenly makes me realize just how terrifying they are every time they decloak. But,
what's the scale of the Walian ship?
25.
Like 20 or something. It's ridiculous.
How could we overcome its resistance to even damage the thing?
Great question.
That's why I'm not really worried about the Fathom or whatever that ship is.
No,
called.
they're going to.
I'm not worried about them shooting it.
No, they're going to beam aboard and blow it up from the inside.
Okay, you know what? They're gonna shoot. They are going to fire their disruptors. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Ooh.
Ouch.
He never rolls complications.
Yeah.
3
His dice are weighted.
successes,
He's cheating.
4 successes. And that was a
Yikes.
natural 1, which is in this game beautiful. Which still, as a longtime D&D player, freaked me out.
Right?
The fact that it's red doesn't help things.
Yeah.
Seems very menacing.
That is 1, 2, 3 points of damage with 1 effect. Oh, no, 5 points of damage with 1 effect. I apologize.
so that their effect is vicious, so that does an additional point of damage, which does reduce your shields by 1.
Oh, now
Down
let's
to
rock
12.
their world.
That cost them a little bit of power.
We're coming for your power.
That's important for heroes up there.
Lock up your power. We're coming.
We're coming for your power.
All right.
Ooh, Quinn, as
Yes.
we scan for weaknesses, would we be able to know how much power they're at? Because we're specifically targeting their power systems.
Oh, you know what? I'll allow it just because it's more fun.
Awesome.
So they have 6 resistance, 4 power, and 9 shields. Right.
We got this.
We're
And
coming for your power.
Everyone see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The Fathomless is going to Fathomless is going to drop its shield.
Oh, I wonder what it's doing.
Okay. Now it's the Bonaventure's turn. The
If they just drop their shields, we should like beam a whole bunch of their fucking head crew out of there.
Beam the whole bridge crew into the brig.
So the Fathomless has dropped his shields. It is vulnerable right now. The Bizrak has fired their disruptors at you. You've scanned for weaknesses. It is now the Bonaventure's turn. What are you going to do?
So, one of two possibilities. One, they've lowered their shields as a sign of good faith, or more likely, since they were just shooting at us, they're beaming over a party to the Walian ship.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did have crew on the Walian.
They called them martyrs too.
Yeah, they were willing to let them die. So I don't think they have the explosive device there, so they still need to get on.
So I think we should look at either disrupting that transport or disrupting this plot somehow, whether or not we're shooting at them or beaming away their bridge crew, or
Could set up the same kind of field that they use to block our transporters.
Is that something that Kieran
the
could do?
douchebag field,
No.
I think it's called.
Yeah.
That seems like
technical term.
David could do.
Right? I'm thinking David could do stuff like that.
Is there a mechanic for that, Quinn? Like,
Yeah, create advantage. What you would do is you would make it more difficult for them to transport.
That's the captain's job.
Okay. So
another thing we could do is essentially keep dealing with the Bizrak till they flee, and then send our own people aboard to counter their operations.
I mean,
Idea.
we're taking a long time to do this. I think it's
That's
worth
a good point. I'm going to give myself a point of threat.
keeping in mind that this is all happening very quickly, and I'm sure we can deal with the Bizrak and then worry about the Trinity.
All right.
So let's disable the Bizrak, and I want those officers in custody.
You want me to shoot them?
Shoot them.
I want you
Shoot
to
them.
shoot them good.
Shoot them good?
Yeah.
Okay.
With specific goal to drain power and to disable their engines.
That's our goal.
So wait a minute. Well, like you are like to target their engines adds a difficulty.
Yeah. Don't we like just do the power drain for
Or do you just want to do
afterwards?
the power drain?
Yeah.
Power drain first, overall objective in the coming turns.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and I should point out that targeting structure or engines is a lethal attack.
Okay.
Right? Because if the engine goes,
Kablooey.
everything goes. That's
Yeah.
explodes in a ball of flame kind of situation.
All right.
Are there any other ways that we could prevent them from going to warp other than disabling their engines?
Tractor beam?
Tractor beam,
There is the tractor.
which
If they're in a tractor beam, but they still have power and their weapons are operational, could they not just
Shoot it.
warp away?
Yeah,
They have to fight against it, right?
So targeting their engines is the aggressive way to make them stop from being able to go to work and get away and stuff like that. The trick is if you get too many breaches on their engines,
Yeah.
their warp core destabilizes and the antimatter containment completely drops, and so kaboom.
I vote we make a shot at them straight up, no specialties, and just with the goal of draining power.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's do that.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'm going
Do you
to
want to use
add
momentum?
1 point of threat to increase the difficulty.
Yes, let's spend. How much momentum do we have?
2?
You have 3.
3.
Ooh,
3?
spend 1.
Yeah.
Mhm.
1 to get
There's
one
no
more
point.
dice.
There's no point in draining their power if we can't drain all their power.
Okay, so this is a phaser shot, I'm guessing.
Yes.
That is a complication and 2 successes. So you need 3 successes to be successful.
Roll for the ship.
Nice.
And that's an
Yeah.
additional success or an additional complication. And
What?
one
No,
more
no, no,
success.
no.
Oh, no,
No.
You're right. So that's a natural 1. Sorry, my D&D
Don't
brain.
play with me like that.
My
So
D&D
can
brain.
we use one of those momentum to get rid of our complication?
You have 2 momentum, so you can use 1 to get rid of the complication.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
And you are
If-
successful.
And so we have 5 successes versus a difficulty of 3.
Yeah, so you earn 1 momentum.
So we have 2 momentum now.
Now we have 3.
3 now. Okay, excellent.
Plus 2 for the phaser shot is up to 5.
5.
So we can drain 4 points of power.
Let's drain 4 points of power.
Let's do
Yeah.
the thing.
But we need to actually deal damage.
We
To
do.
roll the dicey thing.
7d6.
Roll
Damage.
the dice.
Who does that?
Roll the dicey thing.
Dicey things rolling.
Oh my. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage, ignoring 6 points of resistance.
Nice.
So their resistance right now is a 6, so you ignore it all, doing 7 points of damage.
Well, that was
we-
a shot.
We like to ignore damage.
Yeah.
We ignore all sorts of
That
resistance.
conduit is really sucky.
Yeah.
That also causes a breach on them. That was one hell of a shot. So their modulated shields, the shield modulation comes down. They get a breach. They took a crap ton of damage. You can see that their shields are barely hanging on.
And they have no power.
And
We're spending 4 points of momentum to remove 4 points of power.
so here's the deal. No, you're not. You can only spend momentum once in every action.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Okay.
that till today.
Huh.
Because
Alright.
I mentioned on a group that I belong to, I was like, it seemed like they generated a ton of momentum today. Am I doing everything right? And I kind of described how I was doing things. And they were like, yeah, but remember, they can only spend momentum on one thing. And I was like, oh, shit, yeah. So, you cannot drain power right now, but what you did do is drop their modulation shield. So they, instead of a resistance of 6, they have resistance of 3. And they drop their shields down to only 2 points left. Now it's
Well,
their,
what's the breach?
um,
Because you have to roll for it, don't you?
well, yeah, we can.
And what I'm
do
hoping
that.
is the breach in the engine. That's
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
We can do that. Like generally, I don't do as much in the breaches for the NPC because there's a couple of ways to handle that. But I will roll just on the off chance that's the end. Roll a d20, someone.
you do it, Vanessa. You made the shot.
Okay.
2 computer systems.
Nah.
The computer core suffers a.
Can they go to warp without their computer core?
Who rolled the second dice, and what was that for?
Oh, I apparently have a trigger finger.
All right.
Shh, 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 shh.
Their
Sorry.
turn comes up. They go to warp.
I knew it.
So they are going at high warp the F out of here, following the same route that the Bizrak took. Bintech takes off. The Fathomless now realizes it's completely alone. And
And its shields are down.
its shields are down. I'm not going to tell you what it's doing right now, but it's going to roll 2d20 to do it.
Okay.
And those are 4 successes. Okay. Now
Fire a
back
warning
at
shot.
the Bonaventure.
I think
I
they
would say
beamed a
we-
bomb down there.
Probably did. I'd say we beam a like either beam an away party down or fire a warning shot.
Either
We've
way,
already used the sensors this turn, right?
Mhm.
yes, unfortunately.
Okay. Hmm.
Should we just beam down there and do stuff?
Yeah. Can we send a security team down there to? And we still have crew down there if they're not.
Yeah, we
dead.
do.
But who knows what happened to them down there?
They're martyrs. It's fine.
Hey, we could have
Um,
like used communication to talk to them. Rats.
So let's send Xandra and a security party down there. We do have to lower our shields to do that, though.
Yep. And your raising and lowering shields can be done only by the person on tactical systems, which is a Throssi who's on this.
Okay. Let's take this time, Helm. It,
Never mind.
what
Sorry.
are you thinking?
Did you say
No.
ramming speed?
I think so. I heard ram the big ship.
Yeah.
No,
So-
it's another thing a Throssi can do. Like, I feel like we need more than one person on tactical because I was just thinking of tractor beaming them so they stay there.
They're at quite a distance.
They are. So
To cover more than one square per turn, we'd need to do impulse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can we impulse to overlap squares with them?
Yeah.
Okay, let's. Helm.
by the way, we're here.
So you can
Yeah.
use impulse to jerk ahead, or actually, basically, you'd been going towards the Bintech with your back to the Fathomless, doing evasive actions and trading fire. The Bizrak and the Bintech both take off. As soon as they're gone, impulsing towards the Fathomless would just be like turning immediately and just laying on those improved impulse drive and rocketing hard towards the Fathomless.
Oh,
Which-
this would be intimidating.
That would
Holy
be so
crap.
intimidating.
Like, right there.
Boom, boom. Ugh, hi.
You shot us in the back.
Remember,
Twice.
I said game on.
All right.
So is. Oh,
what do I need
go
to
ahead.
roll for that?
Impulse.
Believe you do.
Control and con, correct?
Quinn.
Yeah, impulse is control plus con.
All right. And I have a focus of impulse engines.
That'll apply.
You have very specific focuses. I love that.
But they apply, and also
I
like, mine's
know.
like, well, I have these really
Evasive
broad
action
focuses
and
that I'll
Yeah.
never be able
impulse.
to use.
1 success.
And then I'll get the ship 2 here.
So you spin the Bonaventure, turns around and just rockets hard towards the Fathomless, getting right on top of it. So you're sharing the same zone. I'm going to move the icons next to each other just so you know each other, but you are on top of the Fathomless. Okay?
Oh,
guys
this is
are in the
terrifying. I
same.
love
So
it.
you just
Mhm.
turned around, and the improved impulse drives just pour on the speed as you appear just looming over the fathomless, with shields down. Yeah. So that's
Whew.
a thing that just
Hopefully they'll pause and think for a sec.
they are thinking. That's
Probably
for sure.
thinking of running away now because they don't care.
So
Especially after they planted their bomb.
Yeah.
the fathomless is opening hailing frequencies.
Ooh.
I wonder
Mute them.
why.
Just mute them.
Yeah. Put
You
them on
want to talk to us earlier.
mute.
Let's go and talk
No,
now.
let's answer. Let's be good
Let's-
people.
Yes.
Okay, communications plus engineering.
If they fail at this, that would suck.
They do not
Yeah.
fail.
No.
What's his level 0 task?
So you hear General Zimpek's voice come over the con. Do you accept visual?
Yes.
Okay. Visual comes up. Like there's sparks and smoke and shit inside the Bonaventure crew. The crew behind you that he can see is all very determined and furiously pounding away at the L cars. Pads in front of them. Ithrosi is her eyes are focused, and Kirid occasionally glances back at her with a little fear in his eyes, and Xandra is just, her eyes are wide and excited, but since the captain's here, she's held back from like howling. And General Zimpek is sitting in his chair on the bridge of the Fathomless, and he says, "Captain, it appears that we are done."
Done in what sense?
I have no wish to fight you.
We have no wish to fight you either.
Stalling. He wants that
But-
bomb to go off.
Do need to determine what has been happening, your interactions with the Walian ship.
I have beamed a small demolitions crew to the ship. They are setting up a bomb immediately. From the inside, we will be able to destroy it. My shields are down. You can destroy me anytime you want. But in order to stop them, you will have to drop your shields.
You'll have to realize that even with our shields down, your shields are down as well, and that our ship greatly outclasses yours. So it is likely that even without shields, we could stop your demolition crew and disable your ship. Is that really a risk that you need to be taking?
That is possible. It is also possible that I kill many of the people under your command before you stop my ship, and still destroy this threat to my world. How much more blood do you want on your hands this day, Captain?
By doing nothing, we'll have all of the Walian's blood on our hands, which is not something that we can abide by.
It looks like you have a choice to make. Zimpek out.
Okay. Well,
Oh, your call, Captain. This is why I did not want to play as captain. So,
really immediately, we need to be sending over a security team. which will involve lowering the shields. That said, any action that we can take against the general simultaneously, I think is worth taking.
So
Thoughts?
I'm going to say that this is kind of a pause in combat. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm going to erase the last two actions and we'll just pause there. Can I take just a short break?
That'd be nice. It'd be nice to have a chance to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Because if I don't know, like we could beam a team aboard and stop their demolitions, and
Maybe we beam their bomb onto out into space.
either way, we have to lower our shields to do so.
Yeah.
And what he's saying,
But I
is going
say
to come
easier
true.
to send the bomb just somewhere else than like worry about when it's going to go off.
Does a Throssi need to be the one that lowers the shields, or can that be a minor action performed by someone else?
Minor action performed by someone else.
Yeah.
As far as I understand.
Yeah.
thinking-
yeah.
I'm thinking we use someone else to perform the shield lowering action, and we have Ithrosi target their weapons. And then either attempt to beam the bomb away.
I'm not thrilled with shooting at them.
No.
To be honest, I'm not like
because
we're
they
not
are
here
trying to
start a
protect
war with
themselves.
them. Yes.
Yeah.
The
And we
whole
are
reason-
also trying to protect them. Like
Yeah.
we're literally trying for the same goal. We're just approaching it from a different perspective as they are.
He
I
did
would-
say that he might try and kill us.
Yeah.
I would say, Michael, you send the away team over,
Mm.
and then you create an advantage that makes it harder for them to hit us, right? Whether you lock a tractor beam on them so that it scatters their targeting sensors. We've seen that work on Deep Space Nine.
Mhm.
You can do that. Just do something that is
Do something else.
peaceful.
That
We're
will
not
help us
shooting at them.
Yeah. I
but
like
then
that.
keeps us from getting hit.
Okay. Let's.
I would also probably send Commander.
Their shields are down
X.
right now, and we're in the same square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Could we maybe do two things? One, doing something about that bomb, and two, maybe bringing the general aboard for a chat involuntarily?
I like bringing the general
Yeah, I mean, we can
because that's
put
not
him back.
expected. Yeah.
And
What good would that do?
They probably
we
won't
put
shoot at
that-
us.
No,
Yeah, they
they
wouldn't-
Except
absolutely willing to die.
yeah, because he's already called the people on that Walian ship martyrs. There's
That's
no
true.
reason that the general would be any different.
No.
That's true.
my thought was that it could disrupt their decision-making process long enough for our other tasks to be carried out.
Let's just get people to stop that bomb. Do that first.
I like the tractor beam idea, and I'm totally down for putting myself and putting us at risk to save the Walians and having to keep from attacking the Tyranidae. I think our ship can take it. I think we can do it.
Yeah, I think we can take a hit, even if we just
we don't have that much. Like we have not. I don't know what our hit points is, but
I say, well, my thought. I will let you guys.
Yeah, it's up to you, Captain. Your call. We've set our piece.
All right, let's lower our shields and should we scan for the explosive or?
Well, we know where they're going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Send the away team. Create your advantage. That'd be that's my suggestion.
Let's do that.
All right.
So, what's the plan?
Lower shields to start.
So this begins generally just how we have to handle this. This begins another round of combat, even if shooting at each other doesn't occur, just a way to organize it.
Right.
So I need you to dedicate 5 people that are going to go this round.
Who is going to go on the away team? Because this matters for who's on the bridge.
It does.
I was thinking Xandra, certainly.
Okay.
If it comes to straight up combat, nobody would beat Athrasi.
That's true.
All that means is you have to put another NPC in those positions.
Okay.
Yeah, and our NPCs are perfectly capable. We've seen that with
Yeah.
our runabout.
It's true.
I could also go on the away team.
That's what I was going to suggest. You're the
Right.
away team specialist.
So
Also-
Kirid, Ithrasi, and your choice of NPCs.
And a security complement. Literally, what we're trying to do is disable, not kill, the munitions team.
Maybe an engineer then.
And an engineer. Yes,
Yeah.
I like your thinking. A bomb specialist.
Yeah.
Let's defuse this thing.
Yeah.
Do we have one of those?
Actually, why would we defuse it? Let's just beam it into space.
Hopefully that
It's just-
works.
Why wouldn't it?
Disable
It's-
or diffuse, your discretion.
Okay. So I am on the away team, Ithrasi's on the away team, and security NPCs are on the away team.
So, Kirid, Xandra, and Athrasi on the away team?
I think Xandra should probably stay and take over where Ithrasi was. I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
she's her second in command, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. So Athrasi nods. Her and Kirid run out of the room. You can be joined by 3 security
Perfect.
crew on your way to the transporter pad. And Xandra will take over Ithrasi's post at Tactical.
On the way down to the transporter pad, Kirid's going to look over to Ithrasi. Disable, not kill. Those are your orders. Understood?
Of course, Commander. Why would you tell me that? I heard the orders.
Just a feeling.
You just like, for a second, you get the excuse me. For a second, you get the flash that she's analyzing you, and it's really unsettling. And then she just continues on.
Well, considering I'm basically analyzing her emotions 24/7,
Yeah, you're a little obsessed at this point.
she's fascinating. I mean, this is like...
Just ask her out. Like,
Come on. Yeah. Come on. You're the Jim Kirk of this ship right now.
All right, so
All right.
we're at the we're
He's
ready
technically
to go.
the first officer, so I'd probably make him a Riker.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the
Alright,
Riker was
true.
even more of a
Oh,
Ladies man.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So, who's going? Who's our
So, yeah.
bridge crew that's going? 5. I need 5 people.
I think same positions that when it's normal, except instead of Ithrasi, it's Xandra.
So, Captain Marcus,
and who is taking your place, Kirid?
Xandra,
Fox is
David.
taking my place.
Okay. So,
She's really a lot better at it than I am.
Bach moves into sensors.
Should have had her on sensors.
And communicate. Honestly, she's got control. She's got science. She's the whole deal. I'm more into daring and security, personally.
Should have been a security officer.
That was his. He's an away team specialist. That's sort of his thing.
Good point.
Which is a
Yeah,
perfect
good point.
first officer.
Absolutely.
All right. So you've got Captain Marcus, Bach, Xandra, and David. And meanwhile, Kirid, Ithrasi, and 3 security officers are going to transport. Okay, so the Bonaventure goes first. Now this is...
Question.
Go ahead.
How does lowering the shields work from a game mechanic?
So it's a tactical minor action.
Okay.
Right. So if you look at
What does minor action mean? Does that mean she can take an action in addition?
Yes.
mean that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it means.
I mean, because it's not an
They
action.
don't count as a task,
Yeah.
and which don't require dice to be rolled. Only the first one comes with no cost. Yeah.
If
So-
you did like a ton, you can't do like 10 minor actions for no cost kind of thing.
Yeah, well, each additional
But-
minor action
yeah.
costs a momentum.
Yeah.
Which you have no momentum. So lowering shields, tactical only, so that'd be Xandra. She can do that as a minor action and she can still go.
Right.
Or
Okay.
someone else can go.
But no, she has to do it on her turn, and that's important.
That's a good point.
Because then we could have her lower it, have him beam us over, and then we can spend a point of momentum and she could raise it. But
That's not how it works.
Right.
So
So do you want her to?
I'm overwording myself
What?
1 point of threat.
Let's have like David do it, or someone that we're unlikely to need this round.
we need her to lower the shields
She
before we
has
can
to
do
lower
anything.
the
Yeah,
She
she's
has
gotta
to
lower
go
the
for-
shields.
Because the tactical station runs the shields.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's got to happen.
Then
So
what do we want her to do for her action?
Well, we can have
Um,
someone like the captain
She
do
can
his,
lock on. Hold on.
The captain can do is create advantage at the same time.
He has to. I thought he had to do that on,
his turn.
Yeah, that's my on my.
I thought you just said you could do the minor action, then someone else could go.
No, I was mistaken.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So
Then
Xandra, what she could do is she could do the minor action of lowering the shields, and then
Tractor beam.
tractor beam. That's what I was thinking.
Okay,
Yes. Okay.
let's do that.
All right.
Okay.
So with the tractor beam, we want to hold them in place, or do we want to like swing them around?
Our goal is to make it difficult for them to actually shoot us. We don't want to hurt them. We just want to protect ourselves until we can get shields
Yeah,
back
it's
up.
just immobilized at first, right? So that's
And your tractor beam is ridiculously powerful. You have a tractor
Sweet.
beam of 4, and if you successfully engage the tractor beam on the Fathomless, that determines the difficulty of them breaking.
Cool.
Cool.
Let's do it.
okay. So control plus security. So
Then-
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. No focus.
2 successes.
And then the computer.
Structure plus
Structure plus security.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeehaw.
Nice.
4
Yeehaw.
successes total.
Ooh.
New momentum.
So that's a difficulty of 2, so that's 2 momentum that you have garnered, and the Fathomless is caught in your tractor beam. So the shields drop, the tractor beam locks on, and now it is the Fathomless's turn. Fathomless gonna fire its disruptor array, Bonaventure. It's also going to spend every point of power it has to overload that disruptor beam.
How many points of momentum do we have?
2.
Let's use that to raise the difficulty.
Yeah.
Yep.
sure.
I'm going to spend my threat to add a dice. That's only 1 success so far. I need 3. That's only a second success. They miss.
Oh yeah.
So the tractor beam must have interfered with their targeting sensors because they are really close. You guys loom up and then drop your shields, lock on the tractor beam. The disruptor array starts firing off at you, and it just seems to glance off of, like some of the energy is dissipated and refracted by the hull, but most of it just dissipates and fires off into deep space. Back to the Bonaventure.
I think David to send us over.
Yeah, so transporters, that's internal systems, that's David.
Okay, so what type of task is this?
So this is a control plus engineering task with a difficulty of 2, assisted by sensors and engineering. You are on a transporter pad, but
Mhm.
you're not going to a transporter pad. So it increases the difficulty by 1. But since David is in, no, okay, so that's it's just a difficulty of 3.
Should we use some
We,
momentum to make sure we get there?
we'd have to generate threat in order to get momentum.
You have 2 momentum right now. Oh
Didn't
wait,
we-
you spent that.
We just spent that to make the
Yeah.
hit more difficult.
So would you like to give me threat in order to add momentum?
I think it's important we get there. I don't know about you guys.
It's a
It
fair
is kind
point.
of important. I'd give him a threat to take a point of momentum.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe 2 threat,
It'd be
Sure.
3 threat.
3. I'm even okay with that. It's really important that this succeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So 3 threat to me.
Okay. Flexible focus, no.
No. 1 success.
And
Didn't we
2
add
successes.
Yeah,
didn't we-
You didn't
yeah.
add your momentum.
One
Yeah,
more
you gotta-
dice.
We
Another
had
2
2 more
dice.
2 more dice.
Yeah.
2 more.
Oh,
Ooh, this is not going well.
Last
one
one.
more die.
come on, David. Come on, David.
You suck.
It does not
Man.
succeed.
Ah.
Transporter has too much interference happening because of the massive disruptor fire interacting with the tractor beam, and he cannot get a pattern lock on the position, and the transport fails. And he's just like, "I'm sorry. You're gonna have to wait. I'll recalibrate."
Get him to the transporter room. It lowers the difficulty of the task by 1.
So if he goes to the transporter room, it lowers the difficulty task by 1. If we need him to do any type of damage control or internal systems, it'll be more difficult without him in engineering.
That's fair. But at this point, everything is based on getting the away team over
Yeah.
there. If we don't
Is
do
this
that,
a new-
there's no point to this.
Quick question for Quinn. Is this a new scene? Because we stopped the combat and restarted again?
No.
Hmm.
If you're asking if everything's like all your powers regenerating and stuff, no.
Not about power. No, I'm asking if like the captain could use his command.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's a new thing.
No.
Because we restarted our initiative and everything. No.
No.
Okay.
All right. Next up is the Fathomless. The Fathomless is less than excited about the entire the entire situation that they're in right now. They are certainly going to try to break free of the tractor beam. I'm going to allow them to spend 3 threat to add 2 dice to their roll. And basically what they're... Oh, there it is. What they're doing is they're just jamming back on their impulse engines and just letting her rip, trying to pull, which has the potential complication of causing them hull damage while they're doing this.
Don't they need 4 successes?
They need 3. Or yes, they need 4. So right now they're at 3. Now they just got 4 and 5.
Yes.
So they do break free of the tractor beam, and your tractor beam goes down. I just want to point out that Zimpek, with his back to a corner, seems to be more dangerous than 2 Wanderer-class starships for you.
Well, just because we're in a delicate situation, we could have blown him out of the sky without even losing any, well, other than sleep.
And
without
our
losing a single hit
values.
point. Yes,
Yeah,
and our values.
This is what Zimpek's playing
Counting on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this was his
exactly.
game. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's, probably one of the reasons that makes him so dangerous is that he's playing you guys rather than playing the technology that he has. at
I
his
love this
fingertips.
game. I love this guy. He's awesome.
All right. So that was something. Okay, so who's up next for the Bonaventure?
Who do we got?
Me.
Oh, by the way,
Fuck.
the Fathomless's shields are. They went up just before they fought.
Okay.
So if we want to attempt to transport over again,
We can transport then ray shields.
yeah.
Because as long as it's on Xandra's turn, should be good.
Okay.
I could do some evasive maneuvers.
Does that interfere with transport at all?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I don't know if it says.
There's not a mechanic for it.
No.
As long as
Yeah.
you don't leave, move further away or something, it won't.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, let's get evading.
Okay, Marcus, you are up.
Okay.
Ace of action.
Con. I got it. Okay.
Daring plus con.
2. And I have my focus, evasive action.
There's 1.
Okay, and then the ship.
There's a second one. So you do gain 1 momentum and you are successful. It does cost some power. You're down to 8 power. Which, when you think about how long this fight is, Ben, is kind of ridiculous that you still have that much power. Like some ships that you've been facing, 8 is still a reasonably high amount of power for them, just in general.
Right.
So we have Xandra left to go. Or sorry, Fock.
Fuck, yeah.
So that was the third. So now the Fathomless goes.
May I suggest an Irish drink?
Perhaps
Fathomless
an Irish drink.
is going to.
Pilates?
The Fathomless is going to Pilates.
Warp away.
Oh.
They're warping back to Tyranidae,
They don't want to be in the blast.
hoping that what they've accomplished works out for them, but not willing to stick around and keep fighting the Bonaventure to deal with it. And also setting up a last-ditch picket line
In case
In case.
they are coming.
the Walians do keep coming.
Oh, they will.
All right. Well, now we can at least transport over without any worries.
So
That's just
combat is over at that point. You can attempt to transport again.
Yes, let's do that.
just repeatedly do this. But get him to the transporter room. Get him there.
It doesn't. He doesn't increase the. If he goes to the
okay.
transporter room, he doesn't get a bonus.
Okay, just transport then, David.
Yep.
You've got
This task
this.
can also be performed from any transporter room, reducing the difficulty by 1.
That's from a transporter pad to a transporter pad, which you're on. You are reducing it.
All right.
Okay, so for David, this is control and engineering.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So the transporter chief, the random transporter chief that's there in the room could do the transport for you, reducing the difficulty from 3 to 2.
That's what I meant. Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
should the
Is the-
transporter chief, our NPC, do it then?
Yes.
Is he any better at this than David?
So he will be talented. So he'll have an attribute of 10 and a discipline of 3. Means he'll have a 13 roll against
David's
this.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do
let's do it.
transporter guy. I don't know why we just ignored poor transporter guy. He's down
David's
there. He's like, I
"I
got
got
this.
it."
David's like, no, it's all on me.
No
The captain says,
transporter guy.
like poor
This-
Miles O'Brien.
Oh, Brian.
No,
yeah.
you cannot do your job.
I mean, to be fair, like that's very much a David move.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
No, I'll do it.
Has anyone read the Chief O'Brien at Work comic series?
No,
Yes.
I haven't.
Yeah, so it's
So
just
good.
Chief O'Brien. The premise is he's in the transporter room and he's lonely and he just wants to contribute and have something to do. But he stands in the transporter room all day and has nothing to do, and hilarity ensues.
Yeah,
A lot of existential angst.
it's so good. All right.
Um,
So who's rolling this? Transporter Chief Bilzok? No, wait. Too many
No.
BZ
Too many
words.
bees, yeah.
Transporter
Bilzok.
Chief Jacob Gaster.
Oh, this guy's gonna be good. I got this.
He
All right. so
rolls a
this is-
20.
This is don't you blaspheme. That's him. And here's the
successes.
ship.
That is a complication.
That's the ship.
You only needed 2 successes to make it, but you do have a complication.
We can't beam you back.
You have 1 momentum left. Would you like
Let's
to
spend
spend
that.
it now?
that's
Yes.
Yes, please.
All right.
That's a good use of momentum.
Hey,
Us
you
not getting fucked over.
transport over to the Walian vessel. When you get there, you transport basically right in the middle of a pitched firefight between the 2 Federation security officers and the 5 Tyranidae, or the 5 Tyranidae that are nearer to the Walian tank.
I feel super proud of our security officers for still kicking it.
Yeah, they're doing the best they can, but one of them is already has taken a hit and is injured, and goes down. So when you guys transport in, they look super happy to see you.
I'm just pleasantly surprised they're not dead.
Same. I'm super thrilled they're alive.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. The 2 Tyranidae soldiers and the 2 security officers that basically just hung out there, not knowing what was going on for a long time. And then they're just like, well, it's so weird because it's like in the vacuum of space, so it's not like they can hear the weapons fire out there and they can't be communicated with and like whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you guys transport over finally, or when then out of nowhere 3 Tyranidae transport in, and they're holding a big thing and they're just like, kill them! And all hell breaks loose. And then
And they're like, but our friends! We've made friends!
they're playing cards. Pinochle.
We were teaching them how to play poker.
All right. So, yeah. All hell breaking loose.
Oh yeah.
So, whole different combat section.
Just want to make
Does
your
this
life
count as-
difficult.
Does this count as a new scene?
This does count as a new scene, but you're out of momentum, so that doesn't really matter. Okay, page 169 is the combat section.
Okay, awesome. That's where I'm headed.
Okay. So there are a series of bulkheads, one of which you guys are behind. The Tyranidae are on the other side. Of the 5 Tyranidae, none of them have been injured. They're firing their disruptor rifles. And one of them is crouched down operating a piece of glowing, pulsing machinery. And the rest of them are firing at your crew. One of your crew is lying on the ground injured, kind of clutching his phaser, hand phaser. Did you beam in with like phaser rifles or hand phaser?
I feel like we went in with phaser rifles,
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
unless anyone objects.
If like this was a disable the opposing team mission, we would have taken the best weapon for the job. If that's a phaser rifle, that's a phaser rifle.
Um, Sorry, as I was flipping through the book, I happened upon the Borg cube, and I was just, that is terrifying. Oh. Okay, now where is the... I can find out the stats for your phasers.
Combat equipment on page 192.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I was way past it. Here we are. Okay, so you each have phaser type 3s, which are the phaser rifle. They have a damage rating of 4 challenge dice. They are two-handed weapons. They have the qualities of accurate and charge. Accurate gives it the weapon is especially precise, often incorporating additional sights that allow the user to use the weapon more accurately. If the character performs the aim minor action before making an attack with this weapon, then any number of 2d20s may be re-rolled instead of the normal benefits of aiming. You also get the charge weapon, and that means you have an adaptable energy supply, allowing its potency to be scaled to various levels. Character has performed a prepare minor action before attacking with this weapon. They may add one of the following weapon effects to the attack: area, intense, piercing 2, or vicious 1. So this is a very Federation weapon, right? It's very highly technical, and it gives you a lot of options, and it's super accurate.
Set to stun.
Is there any mechanic for bringing like a staff or a melee weapon not used to kill, but rather to disable?
Oh, so Jake is our resident non-Star Trek guy.
You just set him to stun.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
as in my character would favor a melee weapon over a
Then
ranged
you
weapon.
Yeah.
But I mean-
not really, dude.
Okay.
No.
Not
You-
really.
The
Like you
Klingon
can,
would go for that, but not really Federation people.
you can use a
Okay.
staff very skillfully to have it be non-lethal, or you can just press a button on your phaser and
You can
Also,
practice
them.
with those other weapons in the holodeck. But when push comes to shove, you're phasering usually.
Okay.
That being said, in the very first episode, Marcus Barton did show that Borg have a real difficult time adapting to giant chunks of mechleth stabbed into its gizzard. As I recall.
It's true. Makes you wonder why people didn't use that tactic more often.
It's a highly advanced technological society, and so the energy weapons are far more prevalent and better in almost every way. Probably not easy to make that adaptation very quickly, unless you're, say, Captain Picard, and you take the safety protocols off a holodeck and riddle Borg drones with Tommy guns.
That's
Because
awesome.
you can't, this is why the Borg have trouble with the Federation, because what kind of a strategy is that?
An awesome one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is an awesome. Okay, so they have disruptor pistols and rifles, which have the vicious quality. Or the rifle has the accurate quality, but they are vicious. Okay. They are. Let's see. They are long range away from where you beam in. Okay, so you guys kind of beam in and immediately kind of jump behind this bulkhead as disruptor fire flies all over you. There's 6 of you right now and 5 of them. Okay?
Yep.
One of which is furiously working with a piece of equipment.
I say we shoot that one first.
Yes.
He is under cover, just FYI.
Okay.
All right. So you go first.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and
Set phasers to stun. Always aim and then fire with these weapons.
I'm going to take aim at the guy crouched down behind cover. So what's the cover mechanic here?
So the cover mechanic, depending on the amount of cover, I give them a certain amount of challenge dice. So you roll your challenge dice, they roll theirs, and whatever the cover kind of...
It adds to their resistance.
Yeah. Well,
Gotcha.
essentially.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to aim at that guy.
So taking the minor action of aiming.
Taking
So you
minor
dive
action.
behind, you kind of dive in behind one of the bulkheads, drop to one knee, aim up, and...
So I get to add a quality to it for aiming. Or it's, so I have to find this thing
So
again.
for aiming, you get... It is the accurate. So
You get 2.
what you do is...
You can re-roll 2d20.
any number of d20s is you can re-roll. That's what you get for aiming.
I may instead do charge. The weapon has an adaptable energy supply, allowing its potency to be scaled at various levels. If the character performs, instead of an aim, a prepare minor action. That was my bad.
Okay.
They may add one of the following weapon damage effects, and I'm going to add piercing 2.
Okay.
So to get through some of the
you
resistance.
you drop down, instead of aiming, you kind of put your back to the bulkhead and you start fiddling with the controls on the side. You're kind of
Yes.
glancing over your shoulder at where you want to fire. Then you jump out and squeeze off a blast. Now, are you setting this?
To stun.
Okay.
Without hesitation, stun. All right. So this is a control plus security.
Control plus security.
Would away team specialist matter here? Combat tactics?
Combat tactics certainly would.
Awesome.
That's a 0 amount of successes.
Mhm.
So you flip around and you fire. The blast goes wide, and you are going to take a disruptor pistol response that's going to be firing at one of your NPCs. The disruptor pistol. That's 2 successes, which is what is required to hit. Figure this out first.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
So disruptor pistol has 3 challenge dice, vicious 1. What do I got, Jake?
You've got, that's 3.4 points of damage since it's vicious 1.
Okay. Here's the question. I wasn't actually expecting this kind of combat, so I didn't reread it before we did this. Now, NPCs generally have a certain amount of stress their body can take. But... Oh, that'd be why I can't fight it. I'm in the weapons and gear section. Okay. Let's see. Tasks, blah, blah, blah. Making an attack. Damage, injury, and recovery. Alright. So he did 3 damage, or applied to the character. Character has a quantity of stress representing their blah blah blah. The stress functions simply to a work track of an extended task. Character's normal maximum stress is equal to the total of the character's fitness and their security discipline.
So those are essentially our hit points.
Okay, so roll the number of challenge dice for an attack or hazard's damage rating. First of all, you are under partial cover, so you can roll a single challenge dice to see if you resist any of that damage.
I guess I'll do that. I mean, am I getting shot?
Yeah.
No.
Or no, you're not.
No, NPC.
NPC
Woo!
is. Okay, so that's one. So 2
And in
points of
effect,
damage.
I don't know if an effect does anything in this case.
Target has any
I don't
resistance
think so.
dice. Add those to static resistance. Okay, that's 1. Reduce the total damage for each point of total resistance. Okay.
And if you suffer 5 or more damage from a single attack, you suffer an injury, just like starships suffer a breach.
Yeah, right. So they're going to each have something in the neighborhood of 14 stress. So you have, 4 security people here, right? One of whom is injured. They're lying down, badly hurt, in need of medical care, or they will die, or if they get hit again, they will die. And everybody else is up and running. Okay, so that person just got hit for 2 points of damage from their 14. They get hit. Now, so that Jake doesn't just do all of this, I'm going to ask other people to jump in.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So I think, Vanessa, you were running Ithrasi, was that right?
Yep.
Okay, and then I'll have other people do the NPC security folk.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how this all works. I've been kind of reading through as much as I can. But is there a chance that like Ithrasi can cover someone, like put down covering fire kind of thing?
So you can certainly create an advantage and call that advantage covering
Cover
fire.
Okay. Because I'm thinking what I want one of the people, one of the other security people to run up to the machine and put their comm badge on it and say, beam out into space on my badge thing.
Okay. Ooh, bold.
Yeah.
Glad we have NPCs for that.
Well, I'm not going to keep it on them. Oh, beam into space. Oops, I forgot to put it on there. So yeah, so I'm going to create advantage, I guess, then.
Yeah. Creating advantage is, for this particular one, we're going to allow you to make a control plus security test to create the advantage.
Okay.
And it has a difficulty of 2.
Control and security. Okay. Let's give it a try. Yes. Yes.
That is
Yes.
3 successes. Alrighty then. Ithrasi, this is her wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So you do gain 1 momentum for that test. So Ithrasi jumps out and just starts laying down bursts of fire towards the Trinidae, trying to create an advantage and making the so you're laying down covering fire for the NPC that you're about to order forward.
Yeah.
So making that NPC 1 dice, 1 more difficult to hit.
Excellent.
Okay. Okay. Next up is the Tyranidae, who are going to fire. This Tyranidae is going to fire at Rossi, who has made
It's not very
herself
nice.
a perfect target with a disruptor rifle. And that will do. That is 3 successes.
And then I roll.
You are not in cover right now because you're laying down this covering fire.
Oh, okay.
So the disruptor rifle is a 4 with vicious. Only what is that for damage? I can never figure this out quick.
That is 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. So you do not gain an injury, but Athrossi takes 3 points of damage.
Or stress.
Or stress.
I'm a little stressed right now.
Hmm? Okay. All right, next up is one of your NPCs. Is this the NPC you're ordering on the suicide mission?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, now movement. That is a question. So moving anywhere within medium range is a minor action rather than a task, but moving as a task increases in difficulty the further away you go. So you can do this as a minor task. They can run this round. They can even shoot while they're running. But they have to run this round and next round to get there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, so you're like, you get over there, move. And so one of the gold shirts goes charging out towards the bomb. You swear in the light his shirt goes a little red.
Mm-hmm. Good old Joe. So brave.
Crewman Jenkins. Good old Crewman Jenkins. All right, so
does he happen to yell anything while he's running?
I regret nothing.
Game on. That's our war cry on our ship. So
or the Horde. Yeah. I don't know. Or what is it? Leroy Jenkins.
That's what I was going for.
So he can shoot, you said, while he's running, though.
Yes, he can.
So that's what he'll do as well.
It's going to increase in difficulty by 1 because he's
running. Yeah. So he's going to shoot at the guy who's right at the... Right. He's running towards him and trying to stun him so he can...
Okay. Yep. He can certainly do that. That person is under a little bit of cover.
Yeah, I know, but that's where he's going to be. Like, it just makes more sense, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So he starts running and just firing his phaser rifle.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 successes. He needs that to hit. No, he needs 3 successes to hit.
So
he misses, which makes
I'm
sense.
thinking, it's just kind of close around him because he's running anyways. But yeah, it would make sense that's what he's doing. So.
All right. So let's see. You're 6, so you're 3 in. So this is their third person. 2. They're gonna fire at the crewman Jenkins here. Somebody's. That's 2 successes. That will hit.
That is 3 points of damage with Vicious 1.
That's 4 points of damage.
I'm sorry, I already included it. I apologize. 2 points of damage with a Vicious 1. Yeah.
So 3 points of damage total.
I didn't yell at the person at the door. Good on me.
Growing as a human being. So this person gets hit for 3 stress. Next up is another one of the NPCs. Why doesn't Michael take this NPC? This is your 4th person that is going on your side.
Okay.
So Throssi is laying down covering fire. Kirid is firing as well into that direction. Crewman Jenkins has started to run over, being ordered by a Throssi to go
While shooting.
while shooting.
Yeah, not just running like, ah!
Yes,
He's a badass.
exactly.
Yeah.
So does crewman, I don't know, Blankins, close cousins,
Right.
no relation, no direct
How
relation.
cousins work. They
yeah.
have very similar sounding Latin.
Totally from the same village.
That's-
Does crewman Blankins have a direct line of sight to one of the Trinidae?
Yeah, all the Trinidae are undercover, but yes.
Okay, so
Because
just
they're defending a position, right, that you guys are attacking.
So just minor action aim and aiming for the closest one.
Okay.
And who should I use to roll?
I just rolled 2d20.
Just roll 2d20.
Okay.
That will be 2 successes. So you don't need to re-roll, even though you took the aim action. You can re-roll, but it seemed necessary at this point.
That'd be really weird to do.
Yeah.
No, actually, I only wanted 1 success.
All right, so roll your challenge dice.
Okay, how many?
I think it's
So 4d6.
double check. Yeah, 46.
What?
That is a single d6.
Okay.
But he did it really well.
Yeah, no, right out there. The remaining d6.
Ooh.
That's 2.
Ooh, nice.
Not really. That's 2 damage with 2 effects, if there are any.
Sparkles. The sparkle effect.
Sparkle effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this person is under cover.
1.
1. So you did 1 point of damage to this person.
Okay, well,
All
good
right.
effort.
So you're firing, drop to a knee, and you're firing around this bulkhead at this position. Now, hey Vanessa, you are doing some heavy breathing into that microphone.
Sorry. It got moved down and up. There we go. Better.
All right. Now it is that was your 4th, so this is their 4th that is going, right? Good talk. Okay.
I thought you just wanted to hear yourself.
That's what I thought.
I thought, you're just talking it out and you're like, yeah, I got this.
Anyways,
Quinn.
so they are going to fire at Plor Crewman Jenkins. Again. Missing completely.
Woo!
All right, now for your
Rerolling.
5th person.
Marcus, you want to roll our 5th person?
It's you, Tim.
Sure. How about we aim for the guy who just shot at Jenkins? We're going to aim and fire.
Okay. That's 2 successes. Roll your damage.
It's 4 damage with 2 1 effects.
That's, I think, 2 resistance, so 2 damage
Correct.
to this guy. All right. Yeah. So at this point, back to you guys for your 5th and final person.
Do it again, Tim. You did it well.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You're excellent at shooting.
Mm-hmm.
This guy will shoot at the same fellow.
Okay.
Aim and fire.
Aim and fire.
That's a single success, and so that misses. All right, now for
Can
their
He
5th.
can re-roll.
Oh, you aimed, so you can re-roll that 1d20. Yeah. That's 2 successes. That hits. Roll your
All right.
challenge dice.
There it comes.
Holy.
That is 5 points of damage with 3 effects. That is 3 points of resistance.
All right. So that's 2 points of damage to that guy, the same guy. Doesn't know why everyone's picking on. Top of the round, back to Kieran Hex.
All right. I think I probably shot my chances at this shooting first, but he's going to attempt to persuade them to lay down their arms. Stop firing. Your ship has left. We mean you no harm. We will transport you home. All we want to do is save these beings that you are trying to kill. We will try, and we will also try and save your planet. Just stop this. We don't need to fight.
Yeah, that's super not convincing for them. They have been told that if they don't do this, everyone they love is going to die.
I figured.
So,
But
I'm not even going to roll that out.
Yeah, there's not much point for him shooting. He sucks at shooting.
Okay. So they're going to shoot at Crewman Jenkins. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
The disruptor pistol does not work, and he starts hammering on it. Hey, hey, Ithrasi, who's laying down covering fire, what are you doing now?
I think continue because he needs to get there.
Okay.
So continue cover fire. So again, trying to create advantage for our friend, the running man.
The running man, Crewman Jenkins. The
Jenkins.
heroic Crewman Jenkins, who's either coming out of this with a major commendation for bravery or death. Which is
Pick
like
one.
the definition of bravery, I guess, you know.
Yeah, it really is. Okay. So rolling for advantage.
What is this particular advantage, by the way?
This
Laying down covering fire.
As in, what game mechanic does it provide?
Making Crewman Jenkins harder to hit.
Okay.
Because they have to keep their heads down, shot by a Throssi.
Okay.
So she's making herself a target and just laying down lots of of phaser blasts.
Gotcha.
And
All right.
if they
Making
weren't
them
so
harder.
concerned about the crazy Federation guy running straight at them, they would be really concerned about the Andorian that's like standing in the middle of the hall, not taking any cover, just do 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 do. So you're right. You know, bringing a Throssi along was probably a good call. Because if anybody's going to terrify a group of Teneriday soldiers, that's going to be a Throssi.
Yeah,
It really is.
she's pretty good. She's pretty good.
All right. So next up is them, and they're going to shoot at Crewman Jenkins.
Ooh, yeah.
Not so
They're
much.
so scared of a Throssi.
Yeah.
Not so much. So that doesn't happen. There's something going wrong with their weapons, and they're starting to get really concerned because they just assume that you're doing it.
Totally are.
Yep.
With the power of our minds.
Well, you're Federation. Like, chances are you're super sciencing them and they don't even know. All right, it's back on to Crewman Jenkins.
All right.
So Crewman Jenkins can run this round as a minor action, get there, and dive to try to get the communicator onto the bomb.
That's what he's doing.
So this is going to be a daring plus security action.
Okay. Do we have any things to use?
This is
Momentum?
going to be a difficulty 2 task, and you have 1 momentum.
Let's use it.
Yeah. All right. Dive! Yeah. Yeah! Woo!
4 successes, which generate you 2 momentum, and he dives in right in their face and just hits it, and he looks back and he goes, "What is Athrasi a lieutenant commander?" Whatever, probably. He's just yelling, "Chief, no!"
Ew!
All right, they are going to fire at Crewman Jenkins.
Weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, why would you want to do that?
And
Jeez.
miss!
Yeah.
So surprised. Now at this point, you guys can communicate out, and I will let any one of the crew that's not on the actual away mission beam away the bomb.
Awesome.
But it
Yeah.
Do
needs
it.
to be
Transporter
successful.
The transporter chief needs to do it.
Transporter chief, heavy leaning on the NPCs in this last little bit, which is fine by me. So this is a control plus engineering task. So he has a 14.
Okay.
Okay. Who wants? Captain, do you want to roll it?
Yep, you're.
And use some momentum. Let's get this happening.
Do we
Yep.
have any momentum?
We earned
Yes.
So
2.
it's not at a
Okay.
transporter pad, which increases the difficulty by 1, and you're transporting it into deep space, which increases the difficulty by 1, which makes it a total of a 4, but he's in the transporter room, which drops it to a
Okay,
3. You have 2 momentum.
Let's add a threat and buy 2.
Add a threat and get
dice.
2 more. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we
add
can-
a threat,
So we'll get 6 dice.
use your
total.
momentum.
And I'm just rolling a generic 2d20.
4d20.
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 And
Plus
then 2
2d20
for the computer.
ship. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh no!
man.
That is
Why do we let-
One.
Why do we let
One-
the captain roll?
1 success.
Right?
1 success.
Come on, computer
You
systems.
need 2 successes
Come
to
on,
win.
come
Now it's
on.
all up to the Bonaventure on sensors plus engineering.
Come on,
Now, if there's
Bonaventure.
anything the
Bonaventure.
Bonaventure's good at, it's engineering.
No.
No!
That is 1 success and a complication.
This is not how I wanted it to be.
Instead of the bomb,
good.
Jenkins
Transporting the bomb got a complication.
Oh, no.
Would you like
Oh.
to give me threat to get rid of that complication?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a bomb. It's not the bomb, but it's a bomb.
A bomb.
Okay, they try to beam it away. There's too much stuff going on in there. They can't seem to get a lock on it. So he's just like, Chief, you're gonna have to try this from engineering. Meanwhile, the Tyranidae are freaking out. They are going. The Trinidad.
I imagine the bomb is doing that thing where transporter almost gets it and it's starting to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
So
so
they
the
know.
one Trinidad, he drops to one knee and he points his disruptor rifle at the bomb.
Shoot him! Shoot him!
And he pulls the trigger.
Shoot him!
That is 1 success, he misses.
Oh!
He hits the bomb, just not in a place.
Yeah,
that
he
doesn't go
hits
off.
the bomb, but it doesn't go off. It is back onto you. I will allow David to attempt to make this transport a game.
Can someone else roll for David?
Let's have Marcus do it. He loves David.
Yeah, he loves danger.
David could finally be the hero he always meant to, and it would be Tim that made him that.
There's
Can
poetic
we add
justice.
threat and get some more dice, please?
Are we doing that?
What do you think?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think we should.
How much threat are you going to give me?
I was thinking 3 for 2 more dice.
Okay. You've given me a total of 5 threats so far.
So this is engineering plus control.
Transporters, control plus
Yeah.
engineering task, yes?
Okay.
Difficulty of 4. A difficulty of 4.
That's why we need that other one.
Yeah. And would, let's see, computer cores fit for a focus?
Nope.
Because I'm working with the computer. All right. So how many dice am I getting? 3, 4?
4 for yourself, and then 2 for the computer.
All right. No focus. Submit.
Two successes.
Come on, computers.
Bonaventure, sensors plus engineering. That's an additional single success. Okay.
Sorry, folks.
Could we succeed at a cost?
Sadly, there's not really a mechanic for that.
Well, this is upsetting.
This is upsetting. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shoot at Crewman Jenkins. I'm gonna buy an extra dice to do it.
Not very nice.
That's 2 successes. That hits. Then I'm going to spend all the rest of my threat to cause damage.
They do not like Jenkins.
Apparently not.
Mhm.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage plus 2 for a vicious 1. Oh, 8 points of damage. Sorry, missed one. Plus 3, that's 11 points.
Okay, Crewman Jenkins disintegrates.
No.
Poor guy.
Completely just.
That's not fair. How are we gonna send his body into space?
There's no body. He's just a few
I know.
particles
I know.
wisping in the wind.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Now it's back to you. Transporters are no longer an option for this round. You have 1 NPC left to go this round.
What else could we do to, like, could we try disabling it without transporting it?
You'd have to run up to it again.
Mm-hmm.
And we're running low on NPCs.
Should we just beam over more security details?
You could ask for that.
Because we have all the time in the world and a ton of security details. We can just overwhelm them.
Technically, we don't have all the time in the world.
So you can use up to your scale in additional crew on different tasks. So you have right now 3.
Well, the transporter beam is busy.
Yeah, there's also that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't actually know when this thing's gonna go.
No, we have no idea.
That's true.
We don't have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think that the NPCs, the security officers, would shoot the guy who just disintegrated Jenkins.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I think they'd want to focus on that.
yeah.
Blenkins should do that. He was very close with Jenkins, after all.
They're cousins.
They're
Yes.
cousins.
Quite close. All right,
Come
so
on, Jenkins.
Blenkins is gonna take a shot at the guy who just killed Jenkins.
Okay. I'm going to increase the difficulty of that by 2.
Why?
Oh, no, wait, I don't have any more threat.
You
I
have
just
no
spent
threat.
it.
You just used it all to kill Jenkins.
I could just
Do you wanna
award
give us
myself like
momentum?
10 threat.
That's
It's
just
called
rude.
award yourself 10 threat. Oh,
Natural 1, that's 2 successes. That hits.
That's
Great.
it.
So
Roll your damage.
What are my damage dice again? 4d6.
46, yeah.
that's 3 points of damage.
What's a 5? A 1?
Yep.
So 3 points of damage, do 2 total points of damage to him. He's still up and angry. That is the end of that round. So I'm going to give you this hint. Hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Either something happens about the bomb, or you guys get out of there, or something right now. You can just tell it's ready to go off.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like, what is from players? Like, what options do we have in this situation? Like,
You could try to transport. It's a new round. The
Mhm.
transporter
Yes.
chief can try to he's been recalibrating, can try to get another lock on it. That's one
Let's
option.
get transporter chief, yeah.
You can shoot it, hoping that will disable it and just cause a smaller explosion. You can. I mean, there's just what are you going to try to do?
I think we need to try and transport it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Transporter
chief, gives
all up to
it
you.
one more go.
Okay.
Who's-
You want to award
who's-
me any threat to add extra dice?
Yes,
Yes.
How
Three.
much
I love all that.
threat? Three.
Yes.
3 threat.
3 threat for 3 dice. That fair? Or 2 dice?
So that's 4d20 for the transporter chief.
Mm-hmm.
Who's rolling it?
This is
I am.
a level 3 task for the transporter chief.
What's the target number again? 13? 14?
14. Good at his job.
It is.
Come on, transporter chief.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Oh, sweet.
And
And then the
you
other
do
guy.
get the Bonaventure to help you out with sensors plus engineering. And that's an additional success.
Yes.
So
Oh.
you generate 3 momentum.
1 momentum.
3.
It was a difficulty 3. We got 4 successes.
We got 5 successes.
5 successes, 2 momentum. Right.
Oh.
Literally none of us were right. Oh, that's beautiful. Simple math. It's 3. It's 1. It's 1. Yeah. Brutal. Okay. It finally gets a lock. Obviously, there was some technology in there that was diffusing the transporter lock. It finally gets a lock. Crewman Jenkins' life was not spent in vain, and it's
Good.
transported out into deep space. A second later, the entire inside of the ship rocks. The Bonaventure gets hit with part of the blast. It's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Reduce it by 5, so you take 5 points of damage.
That was some bomb.
Which causes,
Why did they leave it so close? Why didn't they just send it like far away?
Roll a d20. Because that is a breach. That's a second breach.
Who's doing it?
I'll get it.
You would be the one to roll for a breach.
Yeah. Eat that, Humphreys.
Roll for a breach. That's a 12. 12 is a structure breach. So Structure is impacted. Whenever the structure suffers one or more breaches, the entire ship shudders, power conduits rupture, consoles explode, and personnel are hurled around.
Ooh.
Roll 1 challenge dice. If an effect is rolled, then a random character on the ship, player character, or important NPC has been injured.
Whoa.
These injuries are considered to be lethal.
Oof.
Oh.
For the NPC ships, suffering one or more breaches to structure means the ship has one fewer turn during the next round. This is not cumulative. All right, so somebody needs to roll a d6. If there is an effect, somebody dies. Somebody important, one of the named NPCs or a player character.
It's an injury. It's even if it is lethal damage, it takes 2 injuries to die.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So it is an injury. So that far less drama, but whatever.
It could be a severe injury. I mean,
Yeah, it could be.
I
A
don't
very
want to be the
severe
only one with a
injury.
cybernetic leg here.
Cybernetic legs for everybody.
Everyone.
Hey, who's rolling that d6?
I think Tim should.
I got it.
I support you.
Challenge.
The captain is injured because he
All
supported
right.
me in this role.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Bassa 1, David 2, Dizrak 3, Fox 6 or Fox 4, Ithrasi 5 or
Nope, Ithrasi's not on the
Ithrasi's
ship.
not on the ship. Marcus 5, Stellus 6, Xandra's not on the Xandra is. Xandra 7, Zeg 8, and Zik 9. Somebody roll me a d10, reroll 10. That's a 3.
I told you Dizrak was going to have a bad day.
Dizrak just had a bad day.
Yeah.
So he's at the second con, likely during this situation, right? And so as you guys, this is happening, the whole place gets hurled around. People are thrown to the ground. Things are rupturing. There's explosions happening all over. His con completely explodes, and a bunch of energy comes out and zaps him, and he's hurled across the bridge and slams into another console and drops to the ground.
Marcus is the first one at his side,
Okay?
and he's hitting his comm badge for medical emergency.
Okay. At this point on the interior of the Walian ship, the Tyranidae look at their situation and they just throw down their weapons. They put up their hand.
All right.
Finally.
Take them into custody. Ithrasi takes the lead and takes them into custody and makes sure that they get transported to the brig and
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are transporting back and stuff. Once these guys are safely in the brig, and damage control teams are dealing with the breaches and stuff, as this is happening, who was it? It was Dizrak. You hear up that there has been multiple injuries, some of them serious amongst the crew, of which Dizrak has been put into a chemical coma from Dr. Bassa. She tells you that. For his own protection right now. She thinks that he's going to make it, but he's not going to be available for action for a few weeks. So functionally, what this is going to mean is that Dizrak's not available for duty for the entire next episode.
right.
And we'll probably want a scene or two played out about his injury.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? Because he's an important member of your guys' crew.
Yep.
At this point, everything's kind of going along. You guys ever get back up onto the bridge. Once you're on the bridge, what's everyone talking about?
Ithrasi would talk about the bravery of Jenkins, how he saved an entire species on the ship, and sacrificed himself with no hesitation. Very commendable.
Very. However, we are far from being out of the woods. We have no idea what these whales are going to do when they wake up.
Speaking of which, as you guys are kind of chatting about this on the bridge, and most of you are department heads, so you're kind of coordinating efforts to get things back up and running. And you have taken a couple of breaches during that combat, even though, you were dominant in the combat, but you didn't come off without a hitch. And structure damage, as you see, is devastating. Once this is all happening, you do see, Falk just looks up from her console and says, "Captain, the Walian vessel powering up.
Whoa.
They are starting to establish a warp field."
Oh, great.
Hailed them?
Could we try and hail them?
We can try and hail them. We do not have a communications protocol developed yet.
Yeah.
Let's send out a general greeting hail then on as many
least they're
frequencies as we
awake
can.
Okay. So that happens. You do get this kind of whale song stuff come back, and then they go to warp. Just at warp 1, and they start heading into Trinidan. At this point, you're being hailed from Trinidan.
Yeah. Well, on screen.
As General Zimpek. He looks furious. "Captain, look what you have done. Now what? Now what? You have doomed us all."
Now we look to establish peaceful communication with these creatures without need for further violence.
This is so easy for you to say when you don't have 3 billion of your people at risk. We are going to engage them as they enter our system. Will you assist?
We will not be assisting, but we need to warn you that it seems like their ship has become more fully activated, and they may present a hazard to your ships.
He just, "Damn you," goes out. He looked incredibly angry, but it was a different kind of angry than you're used to seeing from Tyranidae. Like when General Vlaseg gets angry, he's all bluster and aggression. This was an anger of desperation, right? An anger of fear. General Zimpek, for all of his faults, right now, he's literally the last line of defense between people.
Yeah, he thinks his people are going to die, right? Yeah.
His assumption of aggression and that intent on behalf of the Walians is persistent.
Yeah, it is founded in the records that the Federation makes available.
That was a drone. This is an occupied vessel. To
True.
equate the two, I don't think is
It's true.
fair.
That's all you got to go on,
People
though.
tend to judge other people based on themselves.
And being, I understand his fear, and I think he's acting. I think he's acting reasonably. Well, not reasonably, but how he would act.
Well, you kind of understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somebody's on our chat, and I just realized it. I wonder how long they've been there. Oh, they were trying to help us. Oh, I feel so bad. They were giving you suggestions, force field containment, probably for the bomb to help you.
Oh, that would be good too.
That would have been amazing.
So,
it would have been.
I just for a second, his name's Sterling Mithril. Could you all just thank Sterling Mithril really quickly and say
thank you? Sorry we weren't listening to your suggestion.
Thank you, Sterling.
Blame Quinn. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, he's the one with all the messages.
That is my job, and I dropped the ball. So, as the Walian vessel keeps going, what is the Bonaventure doing?
I think we're following.
I guess we'd keep pace with it, right? Because if
Yeah.
they do just start attacking unprovoked, we should be helping defend the Trinity.
I agree.
Okay, so you guys, it takes off at warp 1. You turn and start after it at warp 1, just keeping pace with it. As it enters the system, they have a squadron of 12, 200-year-old Orion skirmish vessels that immediately just go as a swarm and start blasting away at it. They just look like ants. Like, they just look like gnats going around it. It doesn't even seem to be doing anything. You see the deep, the fathomless, and the immeasurable coming up in picket formation, and they start rolling 2 in, firing photon torpedoes, and pulling out, and then 1 in, firing photon torpedoes, then pulling out. They just keep launching and bombarding it. Its shields kind of go up, and they're just doing nothing. Like, it is not stopping it whatsoever. As it comes up to the planet, 2 of the Orion skirmish vessels make suicide charges at it, desperately trying to stop it from getting closer. At this point, you see that General Vloseg's ship, the Immeasurable, turns, aims, and flashes hard into warp, smashing into its shields. This does seem to cause some damage to it, but it still just keeps pouring on. At this point, it's pulling into orbit around Tyrinidan. Some of their orbital defense systems light up and they start firing at it. And it just sends out a pulse. And every vessel in the area loses their warp cohesion and powers down, including the Bonaventure. You kind of start tilting in behind everything. David Humphreys quickly is trying to bring up backup power. He makes sure that you guys have minor sensors and life support. At this point, a giant scanning beam fires down from the vessel onto the ocean surface of Trinidad. You can almost feel the desperation, what it would be like to be General Zimpek. Vloseg, this blowhard that constantly seemed to be trying to pick a fight with you, just sacrificed his life, the life of his entire ship, and his one of only 3 ships of the line of their navy to try to defend their world. And this thing comes scanning through. Who knows what it would be like to be Zimpek and the others watching this, because they can probably see as much as you can with them powered down at this point. As this happens, they start giving off this whale song type pulse, and there is a period of pause when something from the depths of the Trinidan Ocean answers.
Oh, thank the Lord.
That's good.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
There is a back and forth communication. Once that is completed, the Walian vessel begins to turn. As they're turning, a giant scanning beam hits the Bonaventure, and you can see that it's just going through your entire computer core. Do you take any action at this point?
No.
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 No, we're in their hands.
Let them take a look.
Yeah.
They're flippers, more like.
And so they go through. At this point, on the view screen in front of you, some letters start to jumble around and appear, and eventually they go along a line that says, "Thank you."
No.
Nice.
and they create a
Interesting.
warp bubble and flash away at transwarp speed.
Nice.
I just appreciate
Yeah.
the recognition.
Cool.
Soon
Did anyone
after,
screenshot that?
soon after you lose them on your long range sensor. What are you going to do with the prisoners? The vessels, the Trinidae, are getting back up. Are you going to hold on to these guys? You can return them to Trinidad.
I think we should return them immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
as
think
soon
so,
as
too.
as soon as you get powers back up to transporters and stuff, you return them.
Mhm.
The Trinidae are at the end of this process. They're not super happy with you. You can see the relief on General Zimpek's face when he finally contacts you, realizing that his world wasn't destroyed. Let's just play out that scene. So as you transport over, you're ready to transport over. You hail him, and Zimpek comes up on your screen. Captain,
General?
seems today we had nothing. You can
Seems-
understand why I had to do what I had to do.
In a sense, we understand but don't condone actions which led to the senseless loss of life, including some of our own. I wish that this had had a different outcome.
As do I.
I hope that we can learn to move forward in a more cooperative way so that future interactions can be more productive and peaceful.
Captain, I want you to know we would not have escalated this situation had we not discovered your duplicity. In my mind, every life lost here today, I blame on you. And then he turns off the view screen. That brings us to the end of this episode.
Mm.
All right, thanks everybody for watching. Sterling Mithril for the comments and suggestions, even though we didn't see them, sadly. And thanks everybody for checking us out. We will be back with the next episode, episode 4, which the writers and I have been furiously rewriting because you guys keep making decisions that make the future continuity difficult to deal with.
Welcome.
That's what we're here for.
For example, what the hell, man? No, I'm just joking. So thank you so much, everybody, and I really appreciate time to check us out. Talk to you later.